couple of months ago, I had the chance to test a pair of binoculars from a new brand called Adasion, and since that device surprised me with its decent optical performance, I said yes when yet another newcomer got in touch with me a few weeks back and asked if I want to test their new pairs of binoculars. So sit down and grab a cup of coffee, and let's see if the Timorn 8x42 roof prism binoculars are any good and if they are worth considering for night sky observations. Hi, I'm Bogdan Damian and welcome to Video Observatory. As you might have noticed, Chinese optics brands are often met with a lot of skepticism. While there are certainly cases where this is an appropriate response, there are also exceptions, like the aforementioned 12x42mm binoculars from Adasion. And since I'm a big fan of the principle, never judge a book by its cover, or in this case, never judge an optical instrument by its origin, I'm entering this review with an open mind, trying to give the 8x42 Timorn a fair chance. Talking about fair, I want to mention that Timorn was kind enough to send me a pair of their latest binoculars for this review, and while this is very generous of them, it won't color my opinion about this product. Alright, so the binoculars arrived in this rather ordinary looking box, and inside you'll find a microfiber cloth to clean the lenses and a nice, soft and comfortable neck strap for the binoculars, a smartphone adapter so you can attach your smartphone directly to one of the binoculars eyepieces and take pictures and videos with it, a plastic tripod adapter to use in combination with the also included small tabletop tripod. There is also a padded soft case for the binoculars, and of course the binoculars themselves, including dust caps for all 4 lenses. On the outside, it looks just like any other similarly spec'd and priced binoculars. The housing is made out of polycarbonate plastic and covered with a 1mm thick black rubbery material that provides a good grip and functions as a protective layer against shocks, moisture and dust. At the front we have a pair of fully multi-coated objective lenses, each consisting of 2 groups with 3 elements each. The diameter of the objective is, just like the name suggests, 42mm. Inside the housing rest 4 prism elements, 2 for each eye, in a roof prism configuration. Roof prism binoculars have a straight-through design, where the objective lenses and eyepieces are in line with each other, and the prism elements are placed one after the other in a straight line between these. This allows for a more compact and streamlined design, which is easier to hold and carry around. Their name comes from the path the light has to travel once it reaches the prism. The shape roughly resembles the roof of a house. Each of the 2 prism segments per side must have at least one surface that is coated either with a silver or dielectric coating in order for it to work. In the case of the Timorn, its prism surfaces are coated with a silver reflective layer. The prisms are 16.5mm wide and made out of quality BAK4 glass, offering a 99.5% transmission rate, which should allow for bright and contrast-rich views. Moving further back, the main bridge between the 2 halves of the optical device features all the controls in one place: the 1/4-inch socket for the tripod adapter, the dial for selecting the diopter, and the focuser, while the hinge for adjusting the IPD or interpupillary distance is nice and firm. The diopter selector and the focuser have a bit of play in their movement, making fine-tuning a bit of a guesswork. It's not bad, but you need to concentrate to get to that focusing sweet spot. A nice touch, on the other hand, is the secondary bridge located at the front of the binoculars, which is unusual for a device this compact. But even in this case, it helps to improve the rigidity of the whole construction. It also features a 1/4 inch mounting point on each side for a tripod adapter, giving you more flexibility when it comes to attaching the binoculars to a tripod. At the back, completing the optical system, we have two eyepieces with 18mm wide lenses. Each eyepiece consists of 3 groups of 4 elements each. In combination with the objective lenses, these offer a magnification of 8 times and deliver an angular field of view that is 8.2 degrees wide. The exit pupil is 5.2 mm wide and the eye relief is 15 mm long. If you prefer to wear glasses while observing, keep in mind that this might not be long enough. Alright, so the build quality of the Timorn 8x42 looks to be okayish. Not the very best, but also no major flaws. And this trend continues when we also look at the optical performance. Let's start with sharpness. On center, the views during my tests were nice, crisp and with lots of details, but as soon as you move off center, starting at around 50% and moving outwards, the field of view loses sharpness fast. This is especially visible during daytime observations, where there are a lot of objects of different shapes and sizes filling out the field of view. During observations of the night sky, this effect is less visible since usually there are fewer objects in the field of view at any given time. As mentioned earlier, this pair of binoculars features an 8.2 degrees wide angular field of view, which usually I would say is a good thing, but in this case I'm not so sure. I'm torn between appreciating the extra objects that fit into the wide field of view and the lack of sharpness around the edges accentuated by the wider field of view. The colors are, however, very nice and natural looking. Contrast is good too, and the views delivered are bright. This also speaks for the good coating applied to the lenses. Another positive aspect of a good lens treatment is that there are very little to no internal reflections visible, even when observing bright targets like the moon or Venus. Speaking of optical aberrations, there is some light chromatic aberrations visible, especially in high contrast situations like the edge of the moon to the black of space. I would say that it's the normal amount you would expect from a sub $150 optical device. However, what's more present and therefore more distracting is the amount of spherical aberrations visible. When panning to one side, the fishbowl-like effect is clearly visible. This is much more obvious during daytime when you have lots of objects in the field of view than when observing the sky during the night. In terms of viewing experience, I can report that the Timorn 8x42 is very easy to use and look through. This is a small and compact pair of binoculars designed with comfort and ease of transportation in mind. Due to the relatively low weight of only 660 grams, I had no trouble pointing them at the sky for prolonged viewing sessions. Looking through the binoculars is very comfortable. The field of view is wide, and this combined with the 18mm wide eyepiece lenses offer a pleasant viewing experience. These binoculars are also very forgiving when it comes to eye positioning. Once the IPD was set correctly, I was able to move my eyes across the field of view without seeing any blackouts or other optical aberrations. These binoculars are also waterproofed. While it's not to such an extent that you can simply submerge them in water without damaging them, light rain or dew shouldn't harm them, contributing to the comfortable viewing experience. There is also the eye guards for both eyepieces that can be extended with a nice twisting mechanism. Fully extended, they lock into place, offering a good shielding against outside sources of light. So by now it should be clear that these are an entry-level pair of binoculars, and in order to make them more appealing to potential customers, Timorn included some extra things in the box. like a mini tripod, a tripod adapter, and eyepiece adapter for your phone, so you can take pictures and videos through these binoculars. These are all nice things in theory, and to some extent they really work as advertised, but there are some limitations to consider. For example, the tripod will struggle to keep its balance if you are using a bigger and heavier phone like my Pixel 7. My Samsung Galaxy S22 is smaller and lighter and was a much better matchup. Focusing with the standard camera app on the phone can be problematic under certain lighting conditions. Here I recommend focusing with the binoculars and leaving the camera focus fixed to infinity. Filling in the phone screen with the view provided by the binoculars often means needing to zoom in at 2x or higher. But if your phone doesn't feature an optical zoom, you will end up using a digital zoom instead, which is just image cropping. And this leads to a more pixelated view, which might look okay on a smaller screen, but as soon as you move to a bigger display like a desktop monitor, this changes dramatically. So yeah, the ability to take pictures with your phone through the binoculars is a cool thing and will definitely offer better results compared to pictures taken by holding the phone up to the eyepiece by hand. You should, however, be aware of the limitations such a system comes with. Alright, now that we saw what the 8x42 Timorn can do, I would like to compare it to other binoculars I reviewed in the past. Compared to the 12x42 roof prism from Adasion, I can say that in terms of sharpness, both are similarly capable. The views delivered by the Timorn are, however, a bit brighter, have more contrast, and feature more natural colors that, at least to my eyes, looked more accurate. Part of which is thanks to the lower magnification of the Timorn. While the optical system on the Timorn is a bit better when it comes to build quality, the Adasion comes out on top. Here the housing of both devices have similarly good build quality, but the focuser and the diopter selector on the Adasion are superior, being smoother and more precise. Seeing that the Adasion only cost half as much makes a very strong argument for getting it over the Timorn. Compared to another very popular choice, the Celestron 15x70 SkyMaster, the Timorn comes out to be the lesser alternative. The SkyMaster offers brighter views with better contrast levels thanks to the wide aperture. In terms of overall sharpness, the SkyMaster comes out on top as well. The only categories where the Timorn wins are size and weight. Being much more compact, it delivers a more comfortable viewing experience, allowing for longer observing sessions in a handheld configuration. The SkyMaster is, however, better built and costs considerably less than the Timorn, making it the better option of the two. So there you have it. The 8x42 roof prism binoculars from Timorn is a decent entry-level optical device. It might not have the best optical system in its category, and the build quality could be better. But overall, it manages to deliver an above-average viewing experience, not only for astronomy applications, but for daytime observations as well. The only thing that makes it hard to recommend is its price. In my opinion, the $139 is a bit too expensive for an entry-level optical device like this one. In my opinion, a price tag of around $100 would reflect the capabilities of the Timorn 8x42 more accurately. Alright, that's been it. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave. Also, let me know what you think about this pair of binoculars in the comments below. Thanks for watching and catch you guys in the next video.